Hey YouTube, what's happening? This is the Brosman coming at you with my 2021 Honda Monkey. Today what I'm doing is I'm going to change the adjuster rings on my rear shocks to go from not being able to be adjusted to being able to adjust them. On a normal stock shock, you can see that even though they have a tab that the adjuster ring rides on, the adjuster ring is smooth all the way around. There are no highs and lows to adjust the dampening rate for the rear shock. So you get one rate and that's it. So what I want to do is try to increase it by putting an adjuster here. It'll compress this a little bit more and give me a little stiffer shock without having to go and purchase some aftermarket shocks. I weigh about 160 pounds. I wear a light backpack when I ride, and so I rarely bottom out, but when I do go off-road, there are times when I do bottom out. So I'm thinking with a little bit of stiffening on the dampening, that may eliminate my bottoming out problem. So what I've done is I purchased some. Now here's what I've got as far as the what I bought. It's between a 1980 and 81 Honda CB650C is the model I had, and they're Showa 460-2 VHD shocks, and this is what they look like. Okay, you can see on these shocks that the adjuster ring here, you see the different variations in the adjuster ring. So as you turn this adjuster ring on that tab, it'll shorten the spring, it'll compress that spring, give it a little more dampening rate. Okay, so what we want to do is change this adjuster ring for the ones that are on the bike now. Now what's important is the diameter of the shock here. These shocks on the Monkey are about 32 point something millimeters. Oh, let's see. Let me turn that on. Stand by. Turn this on. Put it on millimeters. Zero it out. Okay, now we can go and measure this, and you'll see that it's about, I think it's 32.3. 32.9 on that try. Zero it out. Always do this a couple of times in case you got one of these great little imported calipers that cost $2. Okay, 32. So we're going to go with 32. And the reason that's important is because we want these adjuster rings to be the same size. And we come over to the Monkey, and we zeroed this out. Measure that shock body, and we're at 32.3. So that's enough for me to use it. That's close enough, in other words. So that's going to be the deal. How am I going to do it? Well, first thing I have to do is compress the shock. I've got to compress the shock enough to release the top of the cap, remove the spring, and then the adjuster ring will slide right out the top. So I've got to compress the shock, loosen it here, take this part off so that the cone and the spring will raise off, and then the adjuster ring will come off that shaft. Then I can do that same procedure over there on the stock Monkey shock. So I don't have any tools. There's no tool that you can buy that'll compress your shocks, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I don't have that kind of fundage, but what I do have are skills. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make shock compressor. Okay, and what I'm going to use is my floor jack. Okay, a floor jack that is capable of anyway, this is capable of raising and lowering 1,000 pounds. Okay, so what I want to do, let me raise this up and show you. I'm thinking that if I could put my shock inside here, well, here, let me turn it over, show you what I've already started. So what I did is I measured this ring on the shock. See, this cap is going to have to come off. And so this ring around here, I've got to be able to clear. So I need the hole to be just big enough for this part right here, this part right here. There we go. Center the camera, ding dong. Get this part through the hole and push on this part so I can compress this part, and then this part will unscrew. Okay, so that top part is about 2 inches, and it just so happens that it's exactly the same size as the top of a pop can. Yeah, a soda can. So I took a soda can, I turned it upside down on my floor jack, and did a you know, marked around the outside of the can, and then I drilled holes. Rather than, see, I've got a cutting bit that I call the Judge. It's about almost an inch in diameter. It's wicked, man. This will take metal off like crazy, but it turns metal like this into snowflakes of metal shards. And as you can see, it's hotter than heck out here. It's over 110 degrees right now in Mesa, in a garage that's not air conditioned. So I need some wine to go with my, anyway. So it's hot, and I don't want chips everywhere, so I'm trying to be as clean as possible on this job. So what I decided to do was drill holes around the outside of my pattern. Okay, sprinkle them chips in the little can as I do it, and I'm gonna just wiggle my drill back and forth until I get that hole out, and then I'm gonna do a slight little bit of grinding to make that hole perfect, and then we'll do a test fit and see how this whole thing is working out. I have no idea if this is gonna work, but my plan is that it will. I can oh, let me well, I'll show you as I get through them. Okay, that's it for right now. Okay, so let's start. Let me drill this and get this piece out. Safety glasses, always you be safe. So after drilling all these holes side by side close together like this, I'm going to wongo the holes back and forth, and that should thin it enough to where I can pop that hole out with a hammer. And for all you guys out there who are saying, oh, you're destroying the drill, you're going to break the drill, what a waste, what a world, what a world. Well, it's too damn bad. Don't worry about it. It's my drill. Well, should I give it a bang test and see if it works? Or if I got enough off? Okay, initial bang test sequence initiated. Sequence 1. Yep. Okay, give me a little altitude. Let's see how hot and sharp it is. Okay. Break the last little bit of bond that piece of metal has with its host. Spin around. Anyway, sorry about that. You can see. So I just gotta pop that out of there. So I'll put these vice grips on here. Okay, now that's on there. Oh, did I fourth, and there's my plug, and there's the trash. And there. Thank you very much for playing. So now, that must be the ticket that it came with, huh? Oh, my old license plate. How cool is that? Let's save that up there for later. Anyway, so now I'm going to go get my little grinding wheel and clean up that hole. Okay, so I'm getting myself set up out here. I'm going to do the grinding in the gravel over there. I got a gravel piece over by my driveway, so I'm going to do the cutouts out there. I went and got the Judge. Check out that bad boy. Anyway, that's what I'm going to use to do the cutting. But first I go out there, I've got to get some coolness on my hat because it's really hot. So I need to. Okay, this is just so I don't spontaneously combust. Once I get out there. Okay, glasses on. Hat. How's that, huh? Ouch. Wait, the rope goes in the back. Ow. Okay. Get that set there. Let me get the camera set up on the chair. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so let it rain. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Glasses are on. Come here, maybe too aggressive. Maybe too fast. I wonder if I should try another one. I've got another one that's a smoother bore. It might shave it off better. Let me try that. Stand by. Okay, I found 3 other bits, a little bit smaller diameter, but different cutting configurations, and see if any of those work better. For all you machinists out there that are screaming at me, pick the second one, pick the one in the middle. I don't know. I have to try it. Okay, you guys know that. I don't know that. Sweat right. Okay. Let's go see what we got. Like I said, it's hot. And it was hot in the shop. Ow. All right. Let me check these new bits up and let's give them a try. This hat doesn't make my butt look big, does it? Okay, hold on. Put these up here. Just turn them around like this. And safety glasses on. This one is the one I think will do the best, is my opinion. All right, let's dance. Faster. Anyway, so on and so forth. I'm gonna just do the rest of this, and then we'll get back to seeing if it fits. Okay. I think we should do a test fit. I'm gonna go get the shock. Okay, so I've got the shock. So you see this between my 2 fingers, this here. This is the one that I have to get to be able to fit to that hole. Okay, so I gotta raise this up a little bit, and because okay, clear that bar right there. So raise this up a little bit, and we'll do a test fit. Yep, that hole's big enough. Okay, here's the plan, Stan. I'm gonna raise this up to a point that should clear. Okay, that's clear the shock. So what I want to do is, let's see. Okay, I'll go that way. Move this way. And Okay, so here's the plan. Here's the plan. So the plan is, I guess I could do it right now, couldn't I? Let me try it, see if it works. So I'm gonna do, you see this part here? I'm gonna make this part straddle that threaded stock like this, and it'll prevent it from laterally, you know, sliding. Hopefully it won't go, you know, forward or aft. But anyway, let's see what happens. In first, in, turn it. No, get in here first. Straddle the threaded stock. Come on, get over. Ouch. Okay. So now I'm straddling that. See under there? Now I'm straddling this here. Okay, so I'll get it straight. And then here, let's put this in backwards mode. And come down slightly while we line this up. Make sure this is perpendicular. A little bit down. Center it, a little bit down. Alright, looks like we've got pressure now. So if my plan, my evil plan works, and I lower the shock, if it had 1,000 pounds of lifting capability, hopefully it'll have enough compressing capability to make that shock compress. So let's see what happens. Alright. Let me clear my legs out here. I got my safety glasses on. Alright, let's see what happens. Yeah, what's the most that could happen? Look at that. Okay, the shock looks like it's in good place. Why is that moving? Okay, reverse it. Oops. Let's see, straight there. Okay. Okay, I think this is going to work. Let's try it again. That exposes the nut that I have to get to unscrew. Okay, let me go get a wrench. Okay, we had a short detour to put a new battery in and fill my Yeti because I needed a little drink. Okay, I brought it back. I brought this inside now so I can get a little fan action while I try to take this shock apart. No idea. I thought the top would just unscrew. Apparently it's throwing me a little screw, so I'm gonna see what happens here when I try to unscrew it. So I put vice grips around that nut that's on the bottom of this cap, and now I'm gonna try and bust it loose or see if that unscrews. And for all you guys that know how to do this, quit laughing at me if I'm completely being a boob about this. Seems like it's getting looser. It did work. Okay, so that came off. Okay, so I'm going to release this. And now I'm going to back the, or I'm going to raise up the jack so I can remove the shock. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay. All right, so This is what we're after right here. The adjuster ring, okay? So for right now, oh, that won't stay on there now. Okay. Yeah. Stuck all the pieces together that way. At least they'll all be in one spot. Quit looking at my stomach. It's hot out here. And I'm old.
But I'm not dead yet. I'm feeling better.
Okay, there's one. And then this should clean up pretty nice. So here's the deal. On the monkey doesn't have these ridges here. So when you turn that little, oh, it goes this way. There's a little tab you'll see on the side of the shock, and that's what rides on those bumps. And as you turn this, as you see, it goes up, click, 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 click. It makes this thing go higher and higher. The higher it clicks on those bumps. Okay, so by compressing that, it puts a little bit of a load on it. I really don't see how it's going to do much, but you know, that's the way it is. So we'll just see how this works. Oh shit. Okay, now how does that go? Okay, this part would go against the spring because it's got that lip on it that goes into the spring. Okay, so this is one set. Let's take the other shock apart and proceed from there. Okay, here's the other shock. So we'll fit it into the jig and we'll straddle the threaded stock there. Make sure it's as perpendicular as possible. Take this over the shock as we keep the hole lined up. Over there. My eyes are over here. Okay. So I'll line that thing up there and then perpendicular. Yeah. Okay, and we'll now I don't have the right glasses on anyway. There's that. So we put that on the bottom and put the screwdriver in the top. Alouette, Jonte Alouette. And then raise up until the pressure is relieved. There's my two. Okay. We got our raw materials there. Okay, so the tool worked. My mad scientist tool worked. Oops, there we are. Anyway, my mad scientist tool turned out that it worked. The other thing that about it that I liked is anybody that's compressed shocks before. I helped my brother one time with when he did the shocks in his Toyota, and he raised it up the front. But yeah, we were scared shitless that that thing was going to pop and cut one of us in half, or anyway, all the things that go through your head when you're playing with springs. I like the idea that I had kind of a semi cage, if you will, you know, with this, and the fact that it straddled the all thread down there on the bottom. So anyway, it looked like it kept the danger to a minimum, and it shouldn't have really affected my Floor Jack's ability to do its job. Yeah, all the chips that I had outside, and I just brought in. That was real smart. Anyway, so yeah, because it's on the bottom. So structurally, it shouldn't hurt a darn thing on there. Mission accomplished. Okay, on the tool. Okay, so next up is going to be to remove one at a time the shocks on the side of the monkey, and then take them down apart. The same way I did this, and install the new rings. First thing I want to do though is take these rings, which you can see are pretty corroded since they're from 1981. So 81 to 21 is 40 years. These are 40 years old. They got 40 years of wear on them, but since it's a Honda part, I'm pretty sure this chrome will clean up nice. So I'm going to clean those up, and then I'll give you a look on what those look like once they're cleaned up before I go for the switch. All right, that's it for right now. Roseman out. Hey, so as far as cleanup goes, what I did was I just took a standard well, I'd use these steel wool pads. Okay, that's just what we have here in the U.S. It's you know, they're soap infused steel wool cleaning pads, same thing you'd use, and you know, you'll find in your household section of the local supermarket. That's where you find them. They're cheap. Anyway, so what I did was I got a little bucket with the parts in it, a little bit of water, and I went to town. It took about 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops to do all 4 pieces. From what I can see so far, I'm going to be happy with the results. Let's see what we get. I'll turn this on first. Oh yeah, looks like new. 1, 2. Slippery. And the stuff is not caustic, so it's not going to rip your hands or your skin. Anyway, it doesn't do mine. Very nice. Look at that jewelry, baby. Okay. Clean the bucket. Dry them up. Yeah, so they cleaned up real nice. Take a look at this. There's the number again of the shops that I got them from. But these look like new. Those are looking good. So these will replace these. Oh, this way, sorry. Like that. And this will click, click, click. As it spins around, it will give me different settings on the rebound dampening. Awesome. I can't wait to put them on. Hi. Okay, this concludes the first of 2 videos on how I gave my monkey a stiffy. Actually 2 stiffies, since I'm stiffening up the rear shocks. At least that's the plan. For the next video will consist of a couple of things. I want to do a test. I want to do a bounce test. I want to see how many pounds it would take to bottom the shock out from just, you know, from a static stance, and then just popping my ass down on the seat, you know, jumping up and down and then on the seat, and get that number. Let's say that the number is 210 pounds. It takes before just plopping down. We'll bottom out the shock. Then I'll remove the shocks. We'll rebuild them with the new shock adjuster rings, and then I'm going to set those on the stiffest point when I put them back together. And then we'll do another bounce test and see if at that 210 limit, does it still bottom out, or how much more weight can I add before it bottoms out again? So let's say it's 5 pounds, 10 pounds, you know, let's say I'm able to go to 215, 220 before it bottoms out again. Then we'll have an idea, okay, that modification did work. That little bit of adjustment from the new shock adjusters actually was a benefit. So that way you'll know whether or not to waste your time doing what I just did, or whether it could be a benefit to you. For you, you guys that you know what you're carrying, you know what your weight is, you know what you're carrying on the bike. This will give you kind of an idea. Now my bike, yes, my bike has got some additionals that that have added weight to it. So that's going to throw my number off by whatever the weight of those is. And just as an estimate, I'm saying about a pound on the rack. The Grom pegs probably added another 3 pounds. Skid plate 2 pounds, so 3, 2, 5, 6. Lights a pound, 7. Windshield and associated hardware 8.5. 9 with the guards, with the Moose Racing guards. And then the horn we're going to throw in for free. So let's say 9 to 11 pounds of additional weight that I've added to the bike. So we'll take that into consideration. But yeah, let's see if we can get some kind of swag system going here. The scientific wild ass guess is the swag system, and that's one of the ones I live by, and it seems to do pretty good. So anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the bell notification for more videos like this when they come out. And I appreciate you watching. Bye.